Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the people of English 11 Honors 6th period, welcome to the moment that you've all been waiting for. Get ready for the man, the myth, the legend, the Jack-proclaimed voice of God, David Troyer! Alright. Let's do this, schniz. Picture this. It's Christmas break. No school, no responsibility, no wordy books to read. All's well. You're on your couch, channel surfing, hoping for some drop of entertainment to arise, when you stumble across a reality show you've never seen before. Curious, you decide to watch. Soon you realize that you're watching a battle to the death between kids that look about your age. The gore and graphic violence spill out with passion. You watch with morbid transfixion as these kids succumb to their dangerous environment, falling prey to the slow deaths of starvation. Injuries and killing sprees are displayed in an ungodly realness. They cut to commercial break. You turn off your TV, and you have to ask yourself, was that real? If you lived in the world of Panem, it was.
Seriously?
You just watched your fellow citizens murder each other.
What kind of a sick world is this?
Yours, pal. You see, Panem was once America until the government fell and got itself replaced with a totalitarian capital, thus splitting the country into 12 districts, one of which you live in.
Me?
Yep. And you know what that means?
I got sucked into an alternate timeline to make this video?
Besides that,
I don't know, I got nothing.
you have a chance to get your skinny behind thrown onto that murder show.
Are you serious?
I'm a disembodied, deep narrative voice. I'm not allowed to make stuff up.
Fair point. Hey, where did the lights go?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our newest tribute to the Hunger Games.
Well, I'm dead. Except I'm not actually dead, so of those of you who were excited, go stuff a sock in yourself. But that's basically the Hunger Games for you. Dystopian America with murder show. Except literally so much more. You follow the story of Katniss Everdeen, an impulsive teenager living in Panem, as she volunteered to participate in the nightmare reality show that is called The Hunger Games, in place of her sister. Through her experience, she begins to put the injustice of her country into perspective, begins to understand herself better as a person, and, most importantly, if she gets together with a boy that's in the Hunger Games with her. Yeah, it gets a little saucy. Saucy both being a slang term for spicy, and the allusion to blood that I'm just making because sauce is typically red, unless it's Alfredo, in which case get on my pasta and not on my metaphors. The suspense in this book is literally constant. You never have a good clue on what's going to happen next. You never know what character's going to say what or do what. Heck, Katniss doesn't even know what's going on half of the time. Throw in some sci-fi action and enough sarcastic quips to tickle anyone's funny bone, and you've got yourself a nice read. Also known as this book. The Hunger Games, the one that I'm talking about to get this grade. What I really want to talk about, however, is what the Hunger Games really talks about, because I'm assuming that most of you have already read this trilogy, and I just made the past couple minutes for your entertainment. But entertainment is exactly what the Hunger Games talks about. This book shows us what society is like when our thoughts and perceptions of the world smear. The Capitol only presents Panem with what thoughts they want Panem to believe. Things like the Capitol is invincible, and the games are actually a fantastic show. Now, we don't get our information regulated, but we get exposed to almost too much. Think of it like this. We hear about tragedy all the time. It's the first thing that comes up in the news, besides, Trump. But after a while, don't we kind of get numbed? Don't we start saying to ourselves, oh, another school shooting. Dang. The empathy kind of just fades after a while, doesn't it? And this applies to all of us, particularly us, as we're growing up in a world where you can't turn without hearing about some catastrophe that's happening on the other end of the world. If we forget to define what's real and what's fabricated, what we think of about our world and each other begins to blur, slowly making us blind to the truth. The world around us becomes a reality show. Everything is just drama and self-centered. People are just flat. They're not people. They're characters. Characters that go away once the commercials begin to roll. Now, when I read The Hunger Games for the first time, and let me be honest, the only time this time, I had no idea that the dystopian plot went this deep, and I'm gonna guess that most of you have read the book didn't either. See, Suzanne Collins, the author of the book, was born to an Air Force veteran and military historian father on August 10, 1962, in the same city that I was born, Hartford, Connecticut. At a young age, she was introduced to the grim reality that is our universe. She knew that hurt existed and was very real every time her father took her to a battlefield. As time went on and world events became more and more accessible, Collins began to realize that kids could begin to think that the tragedies that they saw on TV were just another show. That's why she doesn't put the muzzle on her kid-intended books. In fact, she wrote another child novel series known as the Underland Chronicles, where an 11-year-old boy discovers a vast and strange world beneath New York City. And in this series, the plot elements involve everything from war to genocide to biological warfare. And this is a lady who's written episodes for frickin' Wow Wow Wubsy and Clifford's Puppy Days, one of which I like more than the other. Hint, it's the latter. Clifford was wholesome. Wubsy was an idiot. Collins wants us to see the tragedy and strife are all too real, and that when we see it on our devices, it's not going away with the commercials or ads. It's still happening. The school shootings that have happened, the parents are still grieving. The war in the Middle East, Yemen is still starving. A man shot up a synagogue? You can try to ignore that anti-Semitism doesn't exist, but you cannot tell me that the 11 bodies don't. What I'm trying to say is, or what Collins is really trying to say, is don't let the news cycle be a blinder to how you see the world. We live in a country with so much information at our fingertips that we don't even sit back and realize and appreciate that we are gifted in this regard. And the best portal to it is right there in your pocket, because Lord knows none of you really use that back pocket thing. Don't let other people tell you what's right or what's wrong. You look that crap up on your own. Because if you let someone else tell you what your morals should be, then you don't know right, you don't know wrong, but you do know nothing. And I would love to know what's wrong with